Welcome back to the Daily Morning Sports Feed on Reds Army, with me as editor Olivia. Today, let's take a look at some notable MLB news in the past 24 hours. Thank you for always supporting and accompanying us. Come to the following hot news. MLB Hot Seat Rankings. 5 managers who could be next to go after Rangers fire Chris Woodward. Aaron Judge versus Shohei Ohtani for AL MVP? A clear-cut NL Cy Young winner? Los Angeles Dodgers starter Walker Buehler will have season-ending elbow surgery next week. MLB Hot Seat Rankings. 5 managers who could be next to go after Rangers fire Chris Woodward. 4 managers have been let go since the start of June. Will we get to 5 before the end of the season? The Texas Rangers fired manager Chris Woodward on Monday, ending his tenure after 3+ seasons at the helm. Woodward won just 42.4% of the games he managed, and he had the Rangers on schedule for 72 wins in 2022, or, evidently, below their expectations after they signed top free agents Corey Seager and Marcus Semien. Chris Young and I had the very difficult task of informing Chris Woodward of our decision today, Rangers executive John Daniels said in a statement. In his tenure as Rangers manager, Chris worked tirelessly under what was at times some difficult circumstances. He has been dedicated and passionate in his efforts to improve the on-field performance of the Texas Rangers, and it is greatly appreciated. He has represented the organization with class and dignity. Woodward is the 4th manager to be fired this season, joining Joe Girardi, Philadelphia Phillies, Joe Maddon, Los Angeles Angels, and Charlie Montoyo, Toronto Blue Jays. Receiving the blame, and, sometimes, the boot, when things go wrong is part of the tacit agreement individuals make when they agree to manage. While nobody likes to see anyone lose their job, it's inevitable in a results-based business that declares one, and only one, team a champion each fall. With that in mind, CBS Sports must ask, who will be next? Below, we've identified and ranked 5 managers who would seem to have hotter seats than their counterparts. As always, do note that this is more of an art than a science, and that we're not declaring these managers should or will be fired over the coming weeks. Merely that they appear to be at greater risk of falling victim to the same fate as Woodward. 1. Tony La Russa, Chicago White Sox. La Russa's inclusion is a given. The White Sox have underperformed all year despite playing in a weak division, and he made one of the most foolish strategic decisions of the season back in June, when he intentionally walked a batter on a 1-2 count. La Russa has only 1 year remaining on his contract, making it easier to justify a divorce. The catch is that if La Russa has only one supporter in his corner, it just so happens to be the one person who can keep him around, in owner Jerry Reinsdorf. Even acknowledging that reality, it's hard to justify ranking him lower on this list. 2. Mike Matheny, Kansas City Royals. We'll stick in the American League Central to highlight Matheny, who is nearing the end of his 3rd season in charge. The Royals have graduated several of their top young players to the majors this season, yet they're on pace to post their worst winning percentage since 2019, or the year before Matheny took over. Factor in how Matheny has just 1 season remaining on his deal. The Royals exercised their club option on him back in March, and it seems likely that a change is coming over the next 8 to 12 months, perhaps even as soon as this winter. 3. Dave Martinez, Washington Nationals. The Nationals are expected to be sold this offseason, at which point it seems more likely than not the new owners will choose to install their own general manager and field manager. The best-case scenario for Martinez, who guided the Nationals to the 2019 World Series title, is that the incoming owners give him a season to prove he's the right individual for the job. We're skeptical he'll be able to do so, if only because the Nationals remain in the early stages of a complete rebuild. 4. Don Mattingly, Miami Marlins. Mattingly has been on various next manager fired shortlists ever since taking over in the Marlins dugout prior to the 2016 season. He's somehow survived this long despite posting just 1 winning effort in 6, going on 7, tries, but his luck will have to come to an end at some point. It should be noted that the Marlins exercised his club option for next season back in July, suggesting they may be alright kicking the can down the road a little farther before they have to make a final call on his status. 5. Derek Shelton, Pittsburgh Pirates. It's no fun being the manager of a team in the midst of a deep rebuild. Individuals like Shelton take jobs like the Pirates not because they expect to see things through, but because they want to gain experience for their future managerial gigs. Perhaps Shelton will prove to be the exception, with one guaranteed year remaining on his contract. We're not willing to bet on that being the case. Aaron Judge versus Shohei Ohtani for AL MVP? A clear-cut NL Cy Young winner? A few weeks ago, it appeared the American League MVP debate was going to be an epic three-way battle between Aaron Judge, Yordan Alvarez and Shohei Ohtani, perhaps one of the best three-player races of all time. Judge had 33 home runs at the All-Star break as the Yankees were steamrolling through the league, giving him a season pace of 58 and a chance to hit 60. Alvarez was arguably having an even better offensive season, hitting .306, .405, .653 with 26 home runs at the break. His weighted runs created plus, WRC plus, figure was over 200, a number reached just 9 times in a full season since 1950, 4 of those by Barry Bonds. Ohtani, of course, was having another brilliant two-way season. Since then, however, Judge has been scorching hot, hitting .403 with 13 home runs in 20 games heading into Sunday night's shutout loss to the Red Sox, giving him 46 home runs on the season. Now his WRC plus is over 200. Ohtani has continued to star for the hapless Angels, especially on the pitching side, where he's 10-7 with a 2.68 ERA and 157 strikeouts in 111 innings, including a 1.70 ERA over his past 10 starts. Alvarez, meanwhile, missed 7 games with a hand injury and has slowed down a bit. Our three-player clash is now a two-player race between Judge and Ohtani. Brad Doolittle and Dave Schoenfield take a look at where we are in both leagues' MVP and Cy Young races. A statistical glimpse of the races is provided using Doolittle Axe ratings. The ratings are prorated for 162 games using season-to-date results, plus a rest-of-season forecast based on anticipated playing time and 2022 performance. Playing time estimates are based on depth chart data from Fangraphs.com. Odds from Caesars Sportsbook are as of Sunday. Los Angeles Dodgers starter Walker Buehler will have season-ending elbow surgery next week. The Los Angeles Dodgers' faint hopes of having Walker Buehler in their postseason rotation ended on Monday, when it was announced that their ace pitcher would require season-ending elbow surgery. The Dodgers were vague in their description of Buehler's injury because an initial MRI did not provide enough clarity, a source with knowledge of the situation said. The Dodgers won't learn the specifics until Dr. Neil Trash conducts the procedure on August 23. What they do know, however, is that they will be without their most talented pitcher while in pursuit of a World Series title. The Dodgers boast the highest winning percentage and the lowest ERA in the major leagues despite navigating an assortment of injuries to their staff, with 11 pitchers currently on their injured list. But Dustin May is expected to make his return from Tommy John surgery on Saturday, and the team is hopeful that Clayton Kershaw, out since early August with discomfort in his lower back, can still make it back in time to get built up for the playoffs. Capturing a first-round bye, awarded to the two teams with the best records in each league under the new format, would certainly help his cause. Buehler, 28, underwent Tommy John surgery shortly after the Dodgers drafted him out of Vanderbilt with the 24th overall pick in 2015. From 2018 to 2021, he established himself as one of the predominant arms in the sport, going 39-13 with a 2.82 ERA and 620 strikeouts in 564 regular season innings while also coming through in several of the Dodgers' biggest postseason games. But Buehler got off to a relatively slow start in 2022, allowed 8 runs in 6 1/3 innings in his first 2 June outings and was shut down because of a flexor strain, at which point he also had a bone spur removed from his right elbow. The initial timeline had Buehler recovering in 10 to 12 weeks. But Dodgers manager Dave Roberts told reporters in Milwaukee on Monday that Buehler experienced uncommon soreness while playing catch, prompting the MRI that led to him being shut down for good. The Dodgers will begin October with Buehler gone, Kershaw shortly removed from a back injury, May in the early stages of his return from major elbow surgery and Tony Gonsolin blowing past his previous career high in innings. Julio Urias and Tyler Anderson, the latter a revelation in his first season in LA, will probably be relied upon heavily. And those are also the most outstanding morning news today. Thank you to everyone for listening and following redsarmy's daily news. If you find the video interesting and useful, please click like and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of the latest sports news.